Welcome back to another episode of the William Horton Podcast. I'm your host, William Horton, and this is episode 5. Sadly, this episode does not really have a title. I'll have a title in the description, but mainly the last episode I gave a little bit about like why I've been missing, why my episodes have been late. But before we get into all that, guys, there is a few ways that you can support this channel. And first and the biggest is be sure to listen to every ad that you come across whenever you're listening on some type of platform like Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, etc. Another way is to use my referral code. Use my referral code to get you some raw nutrition products. Wow! This is the glazed donut flavor. So far, this is the first one I've tried since I've been an ambassador with them, and it definitely did not let me down. They are doing a great job at Team Raw putting these products out. If you use code Masterfool, you will get 10% off on your purchases, and that's at getrawnutrition.com. If you would, though, click on my link tree and click the referral link. Use the code Masterfool, and you will get 10% off. And the last and final way to support this channel as of right now is the tip jar, also in the link tree. Just the tip, please. Hey you. If you like this episode, be sure to hit that like, subscribe, and notification button so that you know whenever there's a new episode about to drop. So there was no promotion for this episode. This episode is probably going to get the least amount of listeners. I feel like you deserve an explanation from me as listeners to why I have not been fulfilling my Friday at 12 p.m. releases. The main issue, as you know, if you watched the last episode, I've had some trouble with Masterfool Apparel. Originally, I was doing some print on demand, and that means another company takes care of the printing. And whenever it's shipped and it's sold, I get a portion of the cut using my design, so on and so forth. Before that, I'd already invested into the printing stuff, but I'm so spread out with work and trying to do this podcast that I didn't want to have to deal with that at first, and that's my fault for being lazy, and I refuse to sell bad products. And we had some bad products go out with the way I was doing it, and we're not doing that anymore. We do not. Masterfool Apparel will not be about sending out bad products. So that is what I've been tied up with. I hope that's understandable. It is supposed to be another form of income. I already have money invested into it that I don't want to invest any more money into it out of my personal pocket. I would like for it to actually start being an investment and some, I wouldn't say passive income, but I want it to be its own source of income and to build itself. That was the whole point of me investing in it anyways, and to give you all a way to support this channel and actually get something back other than just my content, which I hope y'all love my content enough anyways, hopefully, but it's kind of hard to love something that doesn't get put out on time, you know, like the Fridays at 12 p.m., like I promised to put them out, so yeah. I'm a little disappointed in myself. I have been getting some messages about how people are loving the podcast, which as it's only episode 5, that's freaking amazing to me. Of course, there are people that I know, but I finally had a guy on Spreaker, giving me his story, and I thought it was freaking awesome, dude. Like that first commenter that you have no clue who they are, it's insane. But it's even awesomer when people that you know and you didn't realize that they were struggling with certain things and they come and they finally ask you for help and they feel like they can talk to you about these things. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's one of the best feelings in the world, and that is why I do this podcast. So I've got to do better on delivering content. I do want to just give a rundown. I'm not trying to make excuses at all, which honestly I don't see this as an excuse. This is reality. So there's 24 hours in a day. I'm not giving you the Arnold rundown about how you have to use the last 2 hours of your day to go to the gym. This is not that. So this is personal. This is me kind of relating to y'all, especially the people in my area that understand shift work. You have 24 hours in a day. I have 24 hours in a day. In my 24-hour day, if I'm not off work, which typically I'm not. I'm lucky enough to be on what we call our long break right now. On days that I do work, I have the 12 hours that I work, so I have 12 hours left. Then I drive 2 hours to and from work. So 1 hour there, 1 hour back. That leaves me with 10 more hours of my day. 6 of those hours, at least, I'm asleep. Hopefully. Hopefully, I'm asleep for at least 6 hours. So that leaves me with 4 more hours. I have a wife and a kid, and I dedicate at least an hour and a half to 2 hours of my time. I wish I had more. And on days that they go to the gym with me, I do have more. But then I also have my hour and a half and 2 hours in the gym. That's not including the extra hours. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, hopefully I can get 6 hours of sleep. But typically, it's more like 4, 5.5 maybe. And like, this isn't a pity party. There's going to be some people that are like, oh, boo-hoo, I've been doing the same thing for the past 30 years. It's great, dude. Keep doing you. I don't want to be like that. So we've come up with, I really got to stop talking like that. So I've come up with a solution, and that is going to be bulk recording. The only issue with bulk recording is I don't know what the quality of every video is going to be. You're definitely going to get some episodes, but the quality may be diminished. They may seem a little rushed. I hope not. I hope I can bring... I don't believe that it'll be as relatable of content. It'll be kind of more random content. But the more content I put out there, the more that y'all listen, the more that, you play those ads, the more support that this channel gets. So I've really got to break down and put some stuff out there. I've got to get the ball rolling. I got to keep it rolling. And then we'll see where this podcast goes from here. So I do have the interviews lined out. We have 4. Hopefully all of them go through. You already know about the first one, and that's with Bo Waldrop. I don't want to even talk about the other 3 until they're 100% confirmed. But I do have the layout for the episode made, the questions that I want to ask, so on and so forth. But I have to find a time that works with Bo as well. So, I'm not doing this by myself. And I also don't want to rush an episode like that, because I want it to be as good a quality as possible, because somebody like Bo, he is going to have some good information for y'all that I may not have knew. I may not have been able to apply. That's kind of the whole point of the interviews anyways, is bringing them on so that you can learn something and take something away from this podcast other than me sitting here ranting all the time. Duh. I do have to say that I would love a little more activity in the comment feed. Even if it's just more questions, that would be great. I'm totally cool with personal messages, but I need to set up a WhatsApp for this podcast, and I would love to get some questions in there. I would love to get questions in the comments where I could put them up over here, like I did with the stuff whenever I was shouting Bo out. You are all just as responsible for other listeners as I am. We do this as a team because, there's people out there that aren't willing to ask these questions. So if you're willing to ask the question, come ask me the question, and we may be helping somebody else out down the road. It won't just be me. This is, maybe I have such a big mind and imagination that I'm thinking this is bigger than it is. But I mean, dude, we can do some work. We can really help some people here. And that is my goal with this podcast, all in all. In the long run, I really just want to let y'all know that I'm not giving up on this podcast, no matter what my schedule looks like. I may be late with episodes again. Eventually, that Friday at 12 p.m. is going to be the most guaranteed thing in your life. In your life, it's going to be the most. Ow. It's going to be the most guaranteed thing in my life as well, because believe it or not, this helps me out just as much as it helps y'all out. To everybody that has tuned into this podcast and previous episodes, if this is your first episode, thank you so much for listening. Thanks to the previous listeners for having so much patience with me and coming back. It means the world to me. And guys, if you would love to keep supporting this channel, just remember, watch the ads, go to the link tree, use my referral link for the raw nutrition products. Get you some proteins, some EAAs, some BC. I think they have BCAAs. I'm going to have to freshen up on that. creatine. They have a bunch of really good quality products. I'm telling you, because that right there, you're talking about you want glazed donut and a freaking shake. That's it. That is solid. Go use the referral link. Use the code Masterful. 10% off. You help me out. I get a certain percentage. I get to stay an ambassador. And yeah. And last but not least, at the link tree, click on that tip jar. Just the tip, please. And other than that, we're all Gucci over here, man. But thank you again for tuning into the William Horton podcast. I was your host, William Horton. I hope this got y'all updated enough on the information about why the episodes are late. I hope there's no hard feelings. I'm going to do better as your favorite podcaster. And y'all have a wonderful day.